Hey friends, today we are going to continue to read Beastly Tales and we're going to dig a little bit deeper into Yetis. So, what we've already learned, we talked about the Loch Ness Monster, where it's from, the sightings, pictures of the Loch Ness Monster. We learned all about this, about the Loch Ness Monster. And then yesterday, we changed it up a little bit and we started talking about Yetis. And what we found out was that they had found a sighting in the Himalayas, which is on the border of China, Nepal, and India. Like the Himalayas go in between all of these. That's what we found out. We also found out that Mount Everest, maybe you've already known this, but we found out Mount Everest is one of the highest mountains in the world. We talked about the people who live there who are native to the land, and that they live kind of at the bottom of the Himalayas. And now we're going to learn more about Yetis, and maybe we had made some predictions yesterday about what we were going to learn. I know that Miss Mafia's class, we made some predictions, maybe that we're going to learn more about the stories of the sightings. So let's take a pause really quick. What is going to happen next? Let's figure it out. Oh my gosh, friends, this is scary. Look at his face. I'll hold him up a little bit closer so you can see. What is that? Is that really what a Yeti looks like? It kind of looks more like Bigfoot to me. I'm really noticing that this does not look like a Yeti. When I'm thinking of a Yeti, I'm thinking of that guy from Monsters Inc. The big white fluffy guy, that Yeti. I am not thinking of this as my Yeti. So we're going to look at this. Valuable creatures. People living among the Himalayas rely on yaks for many things. These hardy beasts provide meat, dairy products, clothing, and fuel. They kind of look like cows a little bit. One day as Lakpa, was that how I pronounced it? Lakpa. Yep, Lakpa. Lakpa grazed the herd. She noticed that the yak seemed restless. She thought that a bear or a snow leopard might be nearby. Lakpa led the yaks to a clear, snow-fed stream. She drank herself and then watched the yaks feed on the tough mountain grasses. Suddenly, Lakpa heard a strange, deep grunt. She whirled around as a huge, two-legged creature came rushing toward her. It was a Yeti. Terrified, she broke into a run, but it was too late. Oh no, friends. Lakpa does not sound like she got out of that situation. Oh no, what do we think is going to happen? I'm thinking maybe we're going to learn more about the situation and what happened next. So, the Yeti grabbed Lakpa in its long, hairy arms. She screamed and kicked, but the Yeti was too strong. Then, without warning, the beast dropped her into the icy stream and turned on her yaks. With powerful blows, it quickly killed 3 of the enormous beasts. Lakpa crawled out of the stream and ran home as fast as she could. When the police investigated the scene, they found the Yeti's large footprints, but not the Yeti. Lakpa's story is similar to many other tales of the Yeti reported by people living in the Himalayas. Mountaineers, drawn by the challenge of exploring the world's highest mountain range, have also told chilling tales of this ape-like beast. Oh, remember in the beginning of our book, we kind of thought that maybe Yetis were maybe similar to gorillas or maybe different types of monkeys. Maybe it was, do we think that this was actually a Yeti? Do you think that this is actually a Yeti? Or do you think that this may be like another animal, like a gorilla or something like that? I don't know. Let's read a little bit more. In 1951, mountaineer Eric Shipton and his party were exploring on an unknown part of the Himalayas when they came across strange footprints in the snow. Michael Ward, one of Eric Shipton's climbing companions, compares his own footprints on the right with those of the creature. So these are the ones, it's kind of hard to see. I'll put it up a little bit closer. Oh, wait, there we go. So it's still a little bit hard to see, but these footprints, you can just notice that these ones are a lot bigger than those footprints. So we don't know. I don't know if they're actually real. Oh, also, that one. Huge. This is like a large of the X. Eric Shipton places 13-inch or 33 centimeter ice axe in the photograph to show the size of the footprint. This is 13 inches. That's like a ruler and an inch. Imagine your foot being as big as a ruler. Maybe it's real, but this doesn't look like the print of a normal person. So maybe it is Yeti. The footprints looked similar to the human footprints, but they were twice as wide. They had sunk much deeper into the snow than the climber's boot prints, so they must have been made by an incredibly heavy creature. Most amazing of all, the clear toe prints showed the creature was walking barefoot in the freezing snow. Yeah, we can see all these toes. So that doesn't seem like a normal person could do that. They might get their toes get frostbite or something. I don't know. In 1970, another mountaineer had even closer encounter with a Yeti. Don Willens was climbing the Himalayas when a Sherpa guide called out, "Yeti coming!" The Yeti seems skilled at surviving on its own in a frozen environment. Photograph shows the model. Oh, so this is what it's kind of looking like. A beast called Yeti. The name Yeti comes from the Sherpa words Yeti, which means that thing. The abominable snowman is another name for the Yeti. Don looked up, but only caught a quick look at the back ape-like figure before it disappeared behind a ridge. The next day, Don found the creature's footprints in the snow. They were about the same size as his boot prints. The Sherpa guide told him that the prints were made by a baby Yeti. Oh, so maybe this was a drawing of what it's... Remember, we had that eyewitness description for the Loch Ness Monster, but maybe they had a baby. I have no idea. Edmund Hillary handed the scalp over to scientists. It turned out to be a fake made of goat antelope hair, but the Yeti's footprints are being found in... Wait. I don't remember. Oh! Confusing part. Miss Mafia just noticed a confusing part. She accidentally skipped a page. I'm going to go back. So I was like, wait, I don't remember reading about something being fake. Yep. So remember what we do if we notice confusing parts. We're going to go back to look, see where the most recent thing was, where we made sense. And then we are going to go back. And yeah, Miss Mafia just was confused for a second. So this was a Yeti illustration from a French magazine. This kind of looks like a person. This kind of looks like Justin Bieber hair a little bit. It kind of got like a little bit of a flow to him. Later that night, Don saw the creature again. He was looking out of his tent into a bright moonlight when it came looping along. It headed for a clump of trees and began pulling on the branches. Don grabbed his binoculars, but the creature suddenly noticed him and ran across the mountain and out of sight. The number of Yeti sightings caught the interest of some scientists. They studied photos and plaster casts of Yeti footprints, then compared them with other animal footprints. They then decided that the Yeti prints could not have been made by a bear, an ape, or an antelope, or any other known animal. Aside from the footprints, little evidence for the Yeti had been found. There was excitement when the Nepalese monk gave a Yeti scalp to Sir Edmund Hillary, the first man to climb Mount Everest. So this is the Yeti scalp. Why did I say scalp? Given to Sir Edmund Hillary. Ew. It's his head. Yuck. Okay, back to this part. Edmund Hillary handed the scalp over to scientists. It turns out to be a fake-made goat antelope hair. Oh, okay. So that makes more sense now. But Yeti footprints are still being found. In 1992, Julian Freeman Atwood found footprints on a glacier that no one had climbed for 30 years. Monster mania. Fascination with the Yeti has inspired many stories. Some are serious news articles, others are just good fun. Kind of sounds like the Loch Ness Monster, too. Do we actually think that the Loch Ness Monster was real, or do we think that this was more of a tourist attraction? Will the mystery of the Yeti ever be solved? What sort of creature is it? Where does it sleep? How does it find enough food in snow-covered mountains? Maybe you will be the one who discovers the answers. Oh, these are all questions I've had, too. Let's look over here before we end. Yeti footprints have been discovered in other mountains in Asia, as well as the Himalayas. These footprints are found by Julian Freeman Atwood, or on the glacier of Mongolia. Oh, so this was, remember when we went over here and it said no one had climbed this for 30 years. So we don't know. Maybe it's a Yeti. I want you to make a prediction, friends at home. Um, what are we going to learn about next? Are we going to continue with Yetis? Are we going to transition into something else? Make this prediction. If you have any questions, if you're confused, making those confusing parts, make sure you go back and reread. Um, but yeah, what are we going to learn about next? Hope you guys enjoyed today's read aloud.